What's up, everybody? Philly Soccer Page Postgame Show. I'm Mike Servideo here with Nick Fishman tonight. Rough on Union fall, 2-0 to Orlando City at home. Your reaction to that?
I mean, they're falling into a familiar pattern. It's the same thing they did in Colorado, the same thing they did last week versus San Jose. They're getting off to a great start, but they're not finishing. And when that other team responds, tonight you saw the Union were unable to create that equalizer.
I mean, it almost felt like deja vu again, too. You know, you start the game on the front foot in the first 20 minutes. It starts to fade away a little bit. Orlando comes back and scores I think it was the 38th minute tonight, 37th minute last week. So is it not taking that early chance really coming back to haunt the Union, or is it just 90 minutes of not being able to score?
I think the turning point tonight was when David Accam missed that early chance. If he capitalizes, you have a much different outcome. Jim Curtin said tonight, the Union are not a team that can chase games, which isn't going to be a great thing because they're not the team that can score right now either. So
I said to you before the game too, I'd love to see what this Union team looks like up 1-0. I think you test the mettle of this young back line even more. I'm interested to see what this team looks like defending a lead against 11 men, and we haven't seen it yet. I do think that you saw the young back line really exposed for the first time tonight. It didn't seem like Keegan Rosenberry really got going. Matt Real had a pretty poor match, probably by his standards. What is it going forward for this back line now?
It depends. I mean, Real was kind of responsible last week as well. Curtin didn't come out and blame him for the goal, but he mentioned he should have closed the space on Eriksson tonight. He was the last one to step up. That kept Dwyer onside. It's a question, do you want to keep playing these kids, even though with youth you're going to have these mistakes? Or do you want to play somebody like Gaddis who's going to give you a little more dependability, but he's not going to be able to whip in those crosses into the box, which is another problem with the Union.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about that. I think the Union over 20 crosses again tonight. I think it was over 30 last week. You obviously have a target forward in CJ Sapong, who's really not gotten going. You bring in a guy like David Accam in the offseason, you think he's a guy that can break lines with a dribble. You think he's a guy that's going to push the ball past people and maybe play through the midfield a little bit more and look for combinations. But instead, it's crosses from outside backs, it's crossing from outside midfielders. Is it just time to try something new?
I think you see the same thing on both sides of the field. Accam and Piquet offer a lot of great straight line speed, getting in behind the defense, but they're not providing that final touch. It was the problem with Piquet last year. Accam's a little bit better, but it's still, they're too direct, I guess you would say, of trying to just rely on that speed. Where Ilsinho, you saw when he enters the pitch, maybe you don't need him as a sub, but you need your players like Accam to play like Ilsinho, where you're drifting into the middle, kind of taking those chances one-on-one and creating the passing lanes. Other than the short passing game has to come back into this game if they're going to have success in the final third.
The two subs tonight are Ilsinho and Jay Simpson comes on for Fafa Piquet and David Accam respectively. What do you think of those moves? I mean, you have a guy like Anthony Fontana and you had a game where Barak Tishkel was involved a little bit in the first half, less involved in the second half. I didn't think Harris Medunian really got going. Were those the two subs you would have made if you were Jim Curtin?
I don't know why they didn't have Corey Burke on the 18.
Yeah, not in the 18 tonight, which has been so strong.
I don't know what's going on with somebody like Marcus Epps. I think they were the best choices that Curtin had tonight. Fontana, I don't think is that offensive spark plug. I still think he's kind of stuck in between being a number 8 and a number 10 and chasing the game. Maybe Curtin was just looking to throw as many people into the box. And again, they're players that rely. Simpson's going to rely on getting it on the end of a cross. So it's kind of sad. We're looking at Miram and Coleman are coming on for Orlando after they score. They're not chasing the game. They're coming on after they have a 2-goal lead, and the Union are bringing on Jay Simpson and Ilsinho, two guys that you saw didn't have success last season.
I think one more before we go. Announced attendance is over 16,000 tonight. I don't think that there's 10,000 people in the stadium. There's booze at halftime. There's booze at full time. Is this just going to be the new regular at Talon Energy Field? I can't see it improving from here. I mean, it's about as nice a night as we've had in Philadelphia in 2018. The fans are just not coming.
I mean, I guess you're going to hear the excuses now that it's tough to get your kids down to a game on Friday night. It's the Philadelphia Flyers are in the playoffs. Phillies are playing, but when is that not going to be the case during the summer? Like, you can't ask for a better night than this. And Curtin was kind of asked about that during the postgame show, and or the postgame press conference, and he kind of sidestepped the question and just kind of talked about the home record and how they've had success without addressing how this kind of impacts the team on the field. Like, it's got to weigh on people to have, 8,000 people, if we're being realistic.
Yeah.
Maybe that.
Yeah.
So.
Frustrating night in Philadelphia. Union travels to Dallas next week to take on FC Dallas, 8 p.m. next Saturday. We're back here in 2 weeks when the Union hosts DC United, and it was probably looking at a must-win game, and we're not even through April yet. So tough start in Philadelphia Union land this year. We'll see you in 2 weeks.